you to bring her cosmic energy.
All the merrier.
And American star Rahm, she's on the menu before Mrs. Mommy Debbie. Based in Utah, she's traveled halfway around the world to support her daughter in the experiment. Don't lie, I'm not hiding here. Today, the biggest thing I'd like to drill down and find out is a little bit more about culture. Why? Are you too good to be true? Like, is it too perfect? I think that's important. In the very beginning, I didn't understand how somebody like me would feel.
.2K Sports, in association with the PGA Tour, proudly presents the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Today's coverage of the Arnold Palmer Invitational is about to begin. I'm Luke Elvey, alongside Rich Beam in the booth, and it's a hello to Henny Koyak down on the course, following our featured group.
Hi Luke, I'm very pleased to be covering this particular featured group because there's a fresh rivalry developing. I smell rivalry in the air. It's going to provide some great entertainment to both the spectators and us this week.
Yeah, so this week their goal is to beat Jon Rahm. Henny, that is by no means an easy feat.
No, if Jon Rahm is fired up, sparks could fly, you want to be out of the way, and he's just going to go straight through like a Spanish bull.
Yes, he's fire and brimstone, isn't he, Jon Rahm? All the Americans couldn't beat him in a Ryder Cup. This player, well, it's an ambitious rivalry to say the least. Opting for the 9-iron.
Jon Rahm watched that one all the way. Great approach shot. This player is definitely upping the pressure in this rivalry.
Oh, that's frustrating. Right on 4 feet. Should make this one. This one started out on a good line. That was a top-level approach shot, but unfortunately they walk off the green with a par.
Opportunity lost, and one they needed to take advantage of, sitting just 2 back of the lead.
The second hole is a long par 3, old typical Redan style at 230 yards.
Yes, the green runs from right to left and chases away from the player on the tee. You can hit it short right and have it bounce on to the flag sticks that are on the right. However, when they're in the back left, you don't want to come up short and left in a low area. That'll leave a very difficult up and down.
This one heading towards the green. She knew that wasn't going to be super tight, but she'll take it nevertheless, especially with a couple of putts from there.
Long way away from the hole if they want to make the birdie, though.
This is buckets. Oh, that's too bad. Pretty good chance here. This one's for par. Nice stroke. Well, that's a momentum maintainer. Well done. She's in a share of 8th place. Rich, the first exposure to the famous lake here at Arnold Palmer's Bay Hill Club and Lodge is the 3rd.
There's a lot of intimidating tee shots on this golf course, Luke. This could be number 1. Water down the left-hand side, you obviously want no part of, but if you miss it right in the rough, that is very gnarly and nasty to come out of. The green works away from the player, moving from right to left. The miss is out to the right, but watch out. It's awfully quick coming down that green. Don't chip it or putt it in the water. Has got this thing dialed in here, looking good.
Oh, terrific approach, and a chance for birdie here at the 3rd. We'll now move over to Jon Rahm.
It's been neck and neck. He's actually tied with his rival. This is tough. Can he do it?
Good look at a birdie here. And with that lovely play, they're now ahead of their rival. It's getting serious, isn't it? The first of the par fives, Rich, the fourth hole.
Yes, Luke, you got out of bounds on the right-hand side that shouldn't come into play for the players, but those bunkers down the left-hand side certainly will. If you get a good tee shot away and you find the fairway, the second shot uphill to this par 5, you can reach, but still lots of trouble lurking around this green.
Rich, I love being back at Bay Hill every time because you get to honour the absolute legend of our game, the king, Arnold Palmer. There's just an air of something extra special this week, isn't there?
When you step on the property here at Bay Hill, you know you're in the presence of something special. Arnold Palmer's legacy was really built here, wasn't it? Granted, he absolutely brought everything he had to the PGA Tour, but when you come to Bay Hill and you have all the monuments, especially the statue right there to the right behind number 1 and number 10 tee boxes, you just get a chill down your spine like, man, this is some kind of awesome place. I cannot wait to tee it up here. And saying that, Mr. Palmer did not leave a golf course. That's very easy for these players. But listen, they come back here every year knowing that they need and they want to honor the gentleman who helped form the legacy of the PGA Tour. And that's why they're out here playing for all the money.
Well, that's a good move. Always nice when you can head to the top of the leaderboard. That's not what they hoped for. I'm definite about that. John, do you have any info down there?
Hey guys, we're checking in down here with Brooke Henderson as she gets set for her next shot here on the 6th.
Well, this rough looks to be lush and thick, doesn't it? Handy effort, that one. This putt will move them to 3 under par. This is a good chance. Okay, steady now. Just a simple tap in for par on this one. Now we head to the famous par 5 6th, Rich. A lot of players are thinking birdie, maybe even eagle.
Out to the right, most definitely the widest part of the fairway, just left of the left-hand bunker out there. We'll leave a layup out to the right, and then you just have a short pitch on from there. This is a really solid birdie opportunity.
Yep, give yourself a pat on the back. Looks to be going with the 4-iron. It's a little disappointing 4-up. That's not how she drew it up. And from the bunker here, looking for an up and down. Okay, phase 1 complete. You've got to make a good putt here. Good chance, this one. Right on 6 feet.
If this putt drops, they'll pull in front of Rahm. This group is heating up.
That's a good make in the end. Certainly helped them fight back from a difficult position.
Not a way to grind it out in the bunker, but up and down for the birdie. Nicely done.
Jon Rahm getting ready for his next shot. And after that effort, this is how the leaderboard looks. Our current leader is enjoying a 1-shot lead. Let's have a look at the 7th hole of par 3.
Finally, you have a green that pitches back towards you ever so slightly, Luke, but still coming into it with a good 6-5 iron from 195 yards. It's still a difficult task to get it close.
Going with the 4-iron here. Hoping for a bounce here, preferably to the left. Oh, stop it. What a shot.
And this one for back-to-back birdies.
Get excited. This could go in. Nice one. 4th birdie of the day.
Back-to-back birdies moving the right direction there, Luke.
And after that hole, they currently lead in 1st place with Jon Rahm in 2nd. The par 4 8th, Rich, challenging tee shot and approach.
Love this tee shot here, Luke. The fairway camber is pretty good from right to left, kicking the golf ball towards that bunker. So make sure to take one less club off this tee. From there, you make sure that you take enough club for your 2nd shot to carry the front edge. If not, that golf ball will come falling back off the green into the drink.
The great Severano Ballesteros inspired an entire generation of European golfers, particularly his own Spanish golfers, and I feel that we might even have the best Spanish golfer of all time in Jon Rahm, Rich.
I absolutely agree with that. I believe in the game right now, Luke, that if there's one player that all others are fearful of when they get on top of the leaderboard, I think Jon Rahm's name would be number 1, because he seemingly has 0 weaknesses. I can't find a single one. I look at his game and it is so complete, you just get envious of it, don't you? Because it is so good everywhere. Off the tee, iron play, the short game, the mentality, the vision, the imagination. He's got every single tool that you could possibly want in this game. He is by far, I believe, the most complete player in our game today.
Yeah, it certainly feels like we're in the Jon Rahm era right now. Let's take a look at the final hole on the front 9, the 9th, and what a tough tee shot it is.
It is it ever. Players want to avoid the bunker down the left-hand side, so inevitably they push it out to the right-hand side, into the rough, into the trees. Now they've got really very little chance of reaching the green in 2. So this is probably the most difficult tee shot on this front 9, and one they have to find the fairway with.
The great Severano Ballesteros inspired an entire generation of European golfers, particularly his own Spanish golfers, and I feel that we might even have the best Spanish golfer of all time in Jon Rahm, Rich.
I absolutely agree with that. I believe in the game right now, Luke, that if there's one player that all others are fearful of when they get on top of the leaderboard, I think Jon Rahm's name would be number 1, because he seemingly has 0 weaknesses. I can't find a single one. I look at his game and it is so complete, you just get envious of it, don't you? Because it is so good everywhere. Off the tee, iron play, the short game, the mentality, the vision, the imagination. He's got every single tool that you could possibly want in this game. He is by far, I believe, the most complete player in our game today.
Yeah, it certainly feels like we're in the Jon Rahm era right now. And Henny, what kind of a shot are they facing this time?
Setting up from about 100 yards.
Going with the pitching wedge here.
This needs to go a little bit right once it lands.
This would be a great up and down. It was on a good line. Just a tiny putt is all that remains. Let's go to Jon Rahm.
He's currently in second place, hoping to overtake the leader.
Oh, wouldn't that have been nice? Well, that's got to have some impact on the scoreboard. Let's take a look. Our current leader is enjoying a two-stroke lead. The par 4 11th resembles the par 4 third, doesn't it? The big lake on the left-hand side.
It does. It just has a little more landing room here on the left-hand side, however. But if you lay back, be prepared to go in with a long iron. If you take the driver out and successful, you now turn this challenging hole into almost a birdie opportunity.
And what are we looking at here, Henny?
She's looking at 135 from the flagstick.
Looks like they're going with the pitching wedge. A wonderful shot. A chance for birdie here on the 11th.
And a fantastic look upcoming.
And here we are with the third shot. Didn't that look good for a long time? Straight out of the top drawer.
Just eyeballing that one, trying to make it.
Oh, this will be good for the momentum. Let's make this birdie putt. Hey, that's a chance. That's a great putt to make. She's on fire today and is building her advantage. And that will move her to 7 under. Still in the lead now after that hole. And the 12th hole, Rich, similar to the 4th hole. Arnold Palmer is really starting to mimic front and back nines.
He does. It's kind of the same thing. Out of bounds out to the right. You got to avoid both those bunkers there, both right and left. You find the fairway. Again, second shot slightly uphill to a green that sits above you. One of the big dangers here, though, is going long. That is a big no-no to miss it long on this 12th.
Oh, I like the courage here, Rich, getting after this par 5 in 2.
As they should. What a play. Hopefully they'll be rewarded for that play. Oh, you know you want to.
That's a big time putt, that one. And their rival knows it too. They heard the cheers. Well, that's worth a replay. Let's take another look.
Yeah, let's see this again. Have this one on repeat.
Leading by 5 shots after that. Number 13, not a long hole by anyone's stretch, but the pond in front of the green really plays havoc.
It does, more so than it should. It's just a long iron or a hybrid off the tee. Find the fairway down the right-hand side, open up the angle for your second shot, and it's obvious you just don't want to miss your second shot right. So bail out to the left-hand side, make a par. Pretty simple.
Not a bad play, that one. And he's down there. You got to read.
An 18-footer for her, guys.
surely it's going to.
Oh, terrific. What an effort. We'll now move over to Jon Rahm.
He's currently trailing his rival. Let's see what happens here.
Let's see if we can make this big putt for birdie. Go to your home ball. Go to your home. Yeah, that's well judged. Let's take a look at the leaderboard. Our current leader is enjoying a 7-stroke advantage. And another of the uphill par 3s, the 14th, Rich.
This is such a difficult hole because this tee shot lines you up over on the left-hand side where you'll find those bunkers. But if you bail out to the right, well, now you're running into a low area that you have a pretty difficult chip shot to a green that historically is the firmest and fastest on this golf course.
Opting for the 4-iron here. Unbelievable.
I gotta say, Luke, hole-in-ones are rare, but getting to watch one on TV, yes!
Oh, that's an absolute beauty, hey, Beamer. Why don't we take another look at it?
I mean, what can you say about a shot like this? This was absolute perfection.
Sitting at 12 under par for the day. As we get into the closing stretch here at Bay Hill, the 15th, the par 4.
Strong par 4 here, dog legs from left to right. Don't miss it out to the right in that bunker. Not only are you hitting your second shot out of the trap, but also you've got some magnolia trees to deal with. This is a very difficult fairway to find because that fairway does chase away from you just over that bunker. This is a very strong par 4.
Do you like the view from where you're standing, Henny?
Yeah, she's looking at 145 from the flag.
Going with the 9-iron, I think. Oh, they're dialed in. It's an absolute clinic.
It's amazing to see how good this player is in full flow.
Wow, did this come out beautifully?
Trying to move to 13 deep here with this putt. Oh, gee, that line was looking good, wasn't it? A par putt on the table. And that puts her in first place.
3 holes remaining, Luke. This is getting awfully fun.
Well, one of the great parts of the finish here of Bay Hill's Club and Lodge, Rich, is the fluctuations in scoring, and it all starts here at the par 5 16th.
Luke, you got to take advantage of this par 5. It's just over 500 yards. Find the fairway. Don't flirt with either of those bunkers out there. Second shot should be with a middle to long iron to a green that's surrounded by water on the left and bunkers on the right. But still, it's a great opportunity to make 4 or better.
Looks to be going with the 6-iron. Oh, what a shot by our leader.
Another green in regulation. This is an absolute clinic.
Time for the 5th shot. And there it goes from the sand. 14-footer.
Looking good.
Oh, just missed. This putt coming up is for birdie. No movement up or down on the leaderboard for this player.
The lead continues to grow. This is simply amazing.
The par 3 17th, Rich, has got a wonderful atmosphere around it. Looks visually quite stunning, but my word, it's a brute.
This hole causes more stress for the players, I think, than any other hole on the golf course, with possibly the exception of number 3. This green is nearly impossible to find as it is so firm historically through the years. You find the green, you make your 3, and you're smiling earlobe to earlobe.
Fingers crossed for a good kick to the left. Looks like she overcompensated there.
What a shame. Has hit a lot of greens today, just not on this occasion.
That's a well-played chip shot there.
You better believe it is great stuff to watch.
And a quick look at the leaderboard has this player currently in first spot, with Tony Finau second. And a chance to ice the tournament here, holding the lead, playing the last. Oh, that impressed me and her. Plenty of daunting approach shots on this golf course, Rich, but this one at the last is as tough as it gets.
It is, Luke. When the pin is up front, there's just not a lot of room for these players to work with, both left or right. When the pin is in the back part of the green, you do have a little bit more room, but you have to favor long and left. We've seen too many golf balls come up short in the penalty area too many times over the years.
Looks to have opted for the 8-iron. Come on, get down. Wow, what a shot. And with this putt, she can win the tournament.
Good stuff today, especially the short game has been really sharp today.
This one's tracking. That was a gallant attempt. All right, one down. Let's see if they can take the next opportunity to close out the win. Oh, size them up for the red cardigan that Arnold Palmer made famous. You are the Arnold Palmer Invitational Champion. Congratulations.
And what a week it was. A fantastic victory, sensational victory on arguably one of the tour's hardest golf courses. Way to go, great win.
Well, they came, they saw, and they conquered. They took down a fierce rival, and that's a victory they should be proud of, Henny.
Oh, absolutely. They silenced the giant today. They got the job done against the odds. We shouldn't ever have doubted them. There was some spectacular golf out there, and it was a pleasure to watch.
Well, that just about concludes our coverage. I'm Luke Elvey, and on behalf of Rich Beam, plus all the hard-working folks at HB Studios, it's good night for now.